All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads, and welcome to the call. And yes, this is being recorded. It will be on our YouTube channel. I'll show you how to get to that a little bit later if you need to. So we got two PDF guides that we're going to be covering today. Down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. I think affordability is a big thing right now with buyers and with the way the market is. And then we got a downsizing guide for homeowners. So let me know where you're coming in from. Good to see everybody. Bruce, Robert, David, hello. Kim from Myrtle Beach. Kim, are you with Innovate Real Estate? All right. I'm in California, a little bit earlier in the day here, but good to see everybody. Any of you joining us on our expireds daily huddles? Getting a lot of good feedback on that. So go ahead and log into your account. And Dennis, good to see you. Merle's Inlet. That's a beautiful area. I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of it. There's a client, man, Marshall Walker is a broker client down in that area. So anyways, let's log into your account. You're going to land on the dashboard, and I'm going to just go ahead and go to PDF guides. And we got a lot of them. You can use whatever guide you want. I like to rotate through some of the more popular guides on a 4-month rotation. But again, we got so many different guides right here. Two newer ones, not brand new, but in the last month or so that you may not be aware of. One is, let's see, okay, I should be good to go. One is the downsizing guide for homeowners, that right there. And the tired, let me see, what is it called? The landlord, let's see, landlord. And these were 2 requests from clients. So if you ever have an example or an idea for a different PDF guide that you'd like to see, go ahead and let us know. And we would love to take a look at it. But I'm going to type in down payment. So these are the 2 guides we're going to talk through today. And Deb, I just can't get rid of you. So if you're not in our expired daily huddle and all that good stuff, I'll point you in the right direction here a little bit later in this call. So for down payment assistance guide, these are available in both English and Spanish. So you can see there's a download link right there, and you can download in English, download Spanish, and then download English text only, and then Spanish text only. The text-only versions are nice if you want to go through and drop it into ChatGPT or whatever AI program you're using and come up with your own emails, come up with your own script, come up with your own social media postings with this. The text-only versions are nice for that because then I can just download it and then upload that text-only version right into whatever AI program I'm using and come up with my own content, all right? And then you got the guide. And these guides, they're branded to your colors, your logos, your profile picture, your contact information on every page. So they're going to look absolutely beautiful, completely branded. So if your colors are, I don't know, green and yellow, then the colors here will be green and yellow and they won't be blue like with me. Sometimes people think everything is going to be branded to just one color, but that is not the case. So first up, and I want everyone, so really pay attention here. We have introduced, and we got some more coming, we've introduced more custom questions so that on the Facebook ads, when people click a Facebook lead ad, there's name, email, and phone number that we're going to collect, and that's the second part of the lead form. But then there's also 2 questions that you can ask to really help clarify and increase your engagement. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. We'll go through this a couple of times. So when we get to the ad, all right, and there's free and paid ways of using this. So we got a lot of free ways. We got some great paid ways. So first up, you're going to see here, Facebook lead ad. Now you can use, in fact, I'll show you a little bit later, down payment assistance that another client is doing. I haven't looked at her ads in a while, so I got to see how they're doing. Or we'll look at them together. We'll find out. But she's doing a lead ad with a video. and they're performing usually pretty well, like $5 to $7 a lead. Name, email, phone number, and custom questions, which I'll show you. We brought in the Facebook API and all of that. So you don't need to go to the ads manager. You don't need to go through all of that rigmarole trying to manage that because they change it like all the time. So every time I used to log into the ads manager, it was a bit of a nightmare because I'm doing a training and they change things from one day to the next. So using this is so easy. So just put in location, radius of 15. I would leave it at that. Lifetime budget of 35. 35 is just a bare minimum. I don't like to throw up a large number on people, and if they don't pay attention, all of a sudden they're on the hook for it. But 35 is really, you're on fumes, right? You're going to want to be at about $50 minimum. And 50 bucks is a good minimum. If 50 to 70 to 80, we got people that do. I've had ads run up to $1,000. All right. But the really cool thing is if an ad is performing well, you can extend it before it ends. And that way you keep a really nice ad running week after week without letting it get turned off. I'll show you that a little bit later, but just to point that out. So $50 1 week. I can change the image or video if I want. I'm not going to worry about that right now. The autoresponder is on. You can scroll down and take a look at it, but I'm just going to close it. What I want, so here's where I want everyone to really pay attention. Under advanced options, this is where we can select what questions we want to ask, and it could be different for everybody. So let's just take a look at this. So open up advanced options, create new form. So I'm going to click on that. And then here, form questions. This is what I want to be aware of. So you're going to, if I scroll down, so you can see this is when they click, this is section 2, I guess you could say, of the Facebook lead form. So that's where you get name, email, and phone number. If I click on the 1, what is your time frame to buy? And would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? So I want to change that. I'm going to leave right there. What is your time frame to buy? And check this out. I'm going to turn that off. And if I scroll down more, these are all the good questions are. Scroll all the way down. All right, here we go. So different options. Would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? Now, I want you to be thinking about you're generating, in this case, all right, again, every PDF guide is different. We got the same thing for listings as well. So for this PDF guide on down payment assistance, this could be a great question because if someone is looking for down payment assistance, they very likely would love to get a list of price reduced homes for sale. And this can really impact our follow-up because now in our follow-up, not only are we going to refer to that they requested our guide for down payment assistance, and we just want to follow up with that, but they also requested a list of price reduced homes for sale. And I just want to find out what area you're looking for. In your initial follow-up on this, if you're using this question, don't get into what area, what price range, what home features, because now you're giving them a lot of homework. Does that make sense? And so just ask one question. Then when they respond to you, then you can say, phenomenal. While we're at it, what's your price range? What price range are you thinking of? And is there anything you're looking for in a home, like a pool, single story, school district? Okay. What is it that you would like in a home so that I can send you the best possible list? Does that make sense for everybody? So that's one question. Another question is this one, see if you qualify. Now that may seem a little bit redundant, but that's the question that we're asking in another ad that I'm going to show you a little bit later. And it's nice because now they're a little bit more, it's a little bit more action orientated versus just a guide where they're going to get a guide, they're going to be able to read through it. But when they answer yes to this question, again, now our follow-up is going to be, thank you for requesting my guide on down payment assistance. And I see that you'd like to get more information on zero down or down payment assistance programs. Let me know there's a good time to talk and we can get a little bit of information and get you what you need to see what you might qualify for. to be able to get you in a home at a lower price or a lower down payment. So you see how all of these questions really can affect your follow-up, what's changing in your housing needs. And do note, you can see what the answers, the answer options are going to be by mousing over the question box. So what's changing in your housing needs? All right. For down payment assistance, this is probably not the most, maybe the best one, but just it could be for a listing. So if you're marketing a listing, this could be a great question. I'm downsizing. Oh, I'm downsizing to a smaller home, upsizing to a larger home, buying my first home, moving for other reasons. Would you like to be notified? So this is not a listing, so I wouldn't go to that one. And then what's most important to you in your next home? And this could be a great one. And the options are affordability and low monthly payments, move-in ready, low maintenance or newer home, proximity to work or commute, space for pet or small yard, safe, walkable neighborhood. And then we got the all or most of these are important. Does that make sense? So now if I ask this question, based on what they select, now I can go back to them. Let's just say, for example, they put low maintenance or newer home. So they requested the guide, down payment assistance. They put lower maintenance or newer home. So now in my follow-up, I can follow up and say, thank you for requesting our guide and down payment assistance. And I see that you're looking for a home with lower maintenance that might be on the newer side so that you don't have a lot of things that you got to worry about when you buy an older home. Or if they say, if they say affordability and lower monthly payments, they may say move-in ready. All right, proximity to work or commute. My follow-up on that one might be, thank you for requesting my guide on down payment assistance. I see that you'd like to get a property somewhat close to your work. Where do you work? I can get a list of properties, but also follow up on the down payment part of it. But what it does, it gives you more talking points that relate to their actual situation. So no matter what question you're going to ask, I would select one of them. And for example, I might just click that one. Would you like a list? And now this is not the best one. The best one is going to be based on you, your business, and what's going on there. But I'll select list of price reduced homes, click create form. And then I'm just going to close advanced options. There's nothing else I need down here. And then create ad. And it's literally that easy. If you got our AI text follow-up and the leads come in, that will engage with the AI text follow-up. If you've got another CRM, make sure you got your CRM connected via the profile. All CRMs can be connected so that we get the leads to where they need to go to. And you can see here, I can sign up for the AI text if I want to. And I won't go to it, but in your profile, lower left in the sidebar, right there in the profile, if you click that, there's another tab across the top, CRM integrations. We got Zapier. You do Zapier for Go High Level. We got Lofty, we got Sierra, we got Boomtown, we've got Bold Trail. All right, we got all the major CRMs and even the smaller ones. We got what's called a email forwarding address that you can use. So even if your CRM is not listed, we can still get the leads to it very easily. In listings to leads, we've also got, in addition to the AI text follow-up, we've got follow-up right here. And I will just show that to you real quickly. The great thing about our emails, they hit the inbox most of the time. So unlike a lot of other CRMs where you're hitting the spam most of the time, our emails, because we don't allow people to import a list, and typically that's what causes a lot of CRMs to start hitting the spam filters or the promotion folder. Because we don't do that, we only allow you to use our follow-ups with the leads you're generating. It creates a much better environment for everybody because now I'm actually hitting the inbox when people are coming in off of these ads or a lead form or whatever it is. And to turn this on, all you got to do is just flip that switch, and we have them in Spanish, English, fully editable. I can create new campaigns. I can edit any email in here. And I just send this campaign to existing contacts. If you've already got some seller leads or buyer leads, make this campaign recurring and just hit save. And then every lead I generate will be attached to either the buyer or seller follow-up. And then again, look at this, create campaigns. I can create a fully new campaign. I can come in here and click and I can edit any of these emails. So all of these emails are fully editable. And give that a second here. Johnny says, hey, Scott, how many PDFs should I add to my product selection on my Google business page? I don't know. That's a great question. You know, go to the mastermind group and ask that question. How many PDFs should I add to my product selection? Yeah. You don't want to add too much because then it's going to be a little bit confusing. You know, what I'd love to see you do is add a screenshot of where it would go there. And then whether it's myself or other people can chime in. But I think I've not had anyone think or ask that question before, but I love it. So here are all the emails. So I can see the email. And our emails for the follow-up, we alternate between either something super short. All right. Are you working from home more these days? Would you like a home office? All right. And then the different guides. All right. And then what's on your neighborhood wish list? Again, super short. First time buyer. How close do you want to be to work? That's a popular one. We got some really good responses off this one. So anyways, our follow-ups are really awesome. All right, let's take a look at this ad. Let's see if that link is good. So to review your ad once it's live, you can just click on that icon and I'll show that to you again. So this is a preview of the ad. And all of this is editable. The text is editable. The image is editable. We've got other images. You could use a Canva image. You can use a video. And I'll show you an example of an ad a little bit later that's fully customized. That was just the default text. So here's the ad. And so someone's going to click. And here we go. What's your time frame to buy? Yes. Continue. Name, email, phone number. Continue. Submit. And then they're going to they'll be taken to a page where they will download the guide. So I can download the guide right here. And I'll also be sent the guide in the autoresponder. In the lead notification email that I get, it's going to have name, email, phone number. It'll tell me what guide was downloaded, just so I've got it all in one place. All of this is sent to your CRM if you send it to your CRM. And then it'll say, what is your time frame to buy? And it'll tell you what they said, just dreaming 1 to 3. Keep in mind, a lot of people, when they say just dreaming, those are first-time home buyers that don't have a good sense of the home buying process. Or they're just people that are starting to think, about getting a new home. So don't get discouraged when you get people that say they're just dreaming. Just take that as a way that you're going to be able to help them out. All right. Again, I've seen a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people, but I hear from people that, hey, the just dreamings, they want to buy a home as well. It's not like they're saying just dreaming as if they're just completely la land. And then in the lead notification email that I get as well, it's going to say, would you like a list of price reduced homes? And then it'll say either yes or no. So again, if it says yes, now in my follow-up, I can email follow-up, I can phone follow-up, I can text follow-up. I'm going to want to thank them for downloading the guide if they got any questions. And then also to acknowledge that they requested a list of price reduced homes for sale. What area are you looking for? Again, just don't get into too many rapid fire questions in the first response because you're just going to overwhelm them. They're going to think you've got homework going on, and it's just going to reduce the people responding to you. Okay? Make sense? All right, everybody clear on that? On those questions and how to do that? All right, next up, we got Google Ads. So any of you are into doing Google, all right, now Google's a lot more expensive, but of course the leads are a little bit more dialed in. I don't want to see anybody going broke on just doing Google Ads because you're going to be spending $20 a day minimum, but $20, $30, $40, $50 a day. We've had people give us great feedback on the Google ads. All right. Dustin Fox calls it the easy Google ad platform, just because how easy it is. And again, here, everything is completely customizable. So we've got it dialed in to be a great ad for most people in most places, but you can come in here, edit this a little bit. If you're an agent, maybe talk to your lender and just say, hey, here's a Google ad I'm thinking about running. Is there anything I should know about in our area or about what's going on right now that might make this more compelling? And I can go to advanced options, and you can see here, right, where I can change, I can edit all of this stuff, and you can kind of see where it relates over here. And for those of you really into Google ads, we got all the site link extensions. All right. I can add default, add new, turn them on, turn them off. But again, similar to the Facebook ads, the advanced options are things that you, for the most part, you're not going to need to worry about. All right. There's no lead form here, so there's no ability to add questions like we do with the Facebook ads. And again, if I want to create the Google ad, just click create ad, and that'll send it to Google. Just like Facebook, once it's approved, it'll be live. You'll be off and running. Next up, social media post. So here, again, everything's completely customizable. I can, you can, for example, take this, go to ChatGPT, throw it in there, work with it a little bit, see if you want to make it a little bit more compelling. Leave it as is, either way. You can change the headline, the description. I can change the media, just like in the ad. The only thing about the post is you can't add a video. The API doesn't allow for a video. But if I wanted to, for example, throw in a house, might make it a little bit more, throw a house in there, maybe people see it, they get a little dreamy, then they makes it more compelling. And then post now. So we can post up to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, your Google business page, and X. So all the different social media websites right there. Next up is the short form video script. And this is something so I had a client was telling me they take our guides, and because we got 80 some guides, maybe 83, 84 different PDF guides split between buyer and seller guides. And they do 3 to 4 to 5 different videos a week using our scripts, because if you think about it, 5 into 80 is 16. 16, that's 4 months. So every 4 months, they're rotating, they'll go through the whole thing, but it just gives them, instead of them trying to figure out what they want to do for every video, they want to do multiple videos, they want to be able to add value. And I'm talking here, your TikToks, your Instagram, your YouTube shorts. These are phenomenal scripts for you. And so, for example, I'll just role play it. You don't need to feel compelled to go word for word, whether you word for word it in a teleprompter app, you paraphrase it, you use it just for the talking points, but essentially it's going to be, in this case, you imagine I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and maybe you're in front of a property, right? Maybe you're in front of an appropriate property for down payment assistance. So not a luxury property, but a medium kind of a property. And you're just talking to the camera, tired of paying the mortgage on your landlord's home. Find out your options for down payment assistance programs for first-time home buyers in my free guide to help you get into your home and start paying the mortgage on your home. Learn how to buy your home for less money out of pocket. In terms of getting a good deal, down payment assistance can be a fantastic solution. DM or comment below to get this free guide and find out everything you need to know about down payment assistance options, from FHA loans to down payment assistance for veterans and more. This is Scott Pierce with XYZ Realty. If you have any other questions on home ownership or home buying, or need referrals to a handyman, plumbers, or any other type of help for your home, just DM or message me and we'll talk soon. So we're talking about the guide, in this case, down payment assistance. So we want to give that value first. And then I just like to end where, like, hey, listen, if you're still listening to this video, there's a lot of other things I can help you with. And it's not just home buying or home selling, but yeah, do you need a referral to a plumber? Do you need a referral to a handyman? Do you need a referral to something that around for your home that I can help you with, because I want to be a little bit more approachable for people in my audience. All right. Everybody see how that short form video script, how awesome that is? Now we got an e-flyer for your database. And in the e-flyer, so when people get the e-flyer and they click, they literally just download the landing page automatically. Now, there's a lot of these that are in your follow-up as well. So with your listings to leads follow-up, there's these same emails. And as you can see right there, I just download right from the email. The really cool thing about this is when that happens, so when somebody from your database downloads the guide from here, you're going to get a lead notification email. And it's going to say, Scott Pierce just downloaded the PDF guide, down payment assistance. All right. And then again, similar to an ad, that's a great call up to be able to call them back or respond back to them, maybe a text or an email, and just say, hey, downloaded my guide on down payment assistance. And I'd love to be able to help you find out more information, how you might qualify for zero down or down payment assistance, so that when you're ready to buy your next home, you're going to have a much easier time with it financially. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, I can send this through listings to leads. I can also take it to my own CRM. So if I want to send it through listings to leads for any of my buyer leads here, I would just select buyer leads and click send. I'll just send it to all my buyer leads. It takes 3 seconds. Similar to the ads and posts, I can edit the email. For example, if I go to the mastermind group, I just made a post and right here. So we're going to actually update this tomorrow in the system, but here's a subject line and it's right in the mastermind group, so everybody can access that later. Let's say I want to, and you can do whatever you want, but I had a lender rewrite this today, just a little bit more topical for what's going on in the market. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to swap out the text above and below the area. And so I'm going to say, instead of markets, I'm going to say options in Placer County. Many programs are made available. Click below to download your free guide. And then out of the mastermind group, below the download link, I'm just going to highlight that text I want to change and paste in the new text. And I guess I've already got that. So I can just put a period. So you can edit this however you want. I just like to show that you can edit it, because sometimes people think you have to just use what we got here. But yeah, you can edit it however you want. And then I'm just going to unify my font, make sure we're good. Everything is easy, good to go. And then I can take this, I can click copy code, and I can go to my CRM if I want to. Oh, copy code, not copy email. So drop that in there. There's a little, in your editor, in whatever system you're using, there's going to be this little icon right here. It's called HTML code, or maybe called source code. You just click it, you drop in the code, and then you click it again. I don't know why it keeps going down. And look at that. All those edits I made came forward, good to go. And now I can send it. We still got the link. We got the image. Everything is beautiful. And now I can send it through my own CRM. So you can do this with Lofty, Follow Up Boss. You can do it with any email program out there. Constant Contact, Get Response, whatever you got. So I would get that email out to my database as well. Great email. And we're going to find some of the buyers there. And again, especially right now with the way the market is, people are wanting to find, and you could even also put, there are some homes to get seller credits or concessions or 2-1 buy down, if that's something that you want to get into. So you can add whatever you want to these emails to help engage buyers, not just first-time home buyers, but just buyers in general out of your database. Then we got a database call script. So this is a phenomenal, there's a couple of things I would do here. For anyone that opens up that email, so in most CRMs, after you send out an email, you're going to be able to see who's opening up those emails. Then maybe you can see who clicks the link, who opens up the email, how many times they open it up, how many times they take a look at it. So I would call those people up for sure. Maybe, an hour or two later after I send out the email, right? I go into my CRM, and even listings to leads, you can do this. And I would look at all the people that opened up that email, and then I would call them up with a script. All right. Scott here at XYZ Realty, and I just sent you my new guide on down payment assistance for local home buyers. And I just want to make sure that you got that and see if you have any questions. I don't know that I would say I saw that you opened it up 13 times. That would be a little bit weird, but have them opening it up and then me calling, they're going to think, oh, wow, like that guy is really on top of things, right? I'm not going to call people who never opened it up necessarily, unless they're a good buyer lead or they're just part of the rotation of people that I'm calling today. But the point here is to give you a script so that you got a reason to call through your database. Because if we don't call through our database, we miss a lot of opportunity because our emails, maybe they hit the spam folder. The text messages, those can be great, but it depends on what kind of a platform you're using. Those could hit the spam folder or just get marked as spam as well. And if you're like some people I know, they get a million text messages a day. I probably get 30 or 40 spam text messages. So I just want to be able, I like to do all the above. I don't want to rely on any one thing. So calling through my database in addition to email, in addition to text, is important. So it's a great little script. Call through. All right. You see here, we got a couple of different versions at the end if they also own a home, right? So if you're calling through and they own a home, there's a little thing right there. But if not, don't worry about that bottom part, but definitely use that script and call through some of those leads in your database. Any questions on anything so far? There's a couple more things here. The print flyer, and then we're going to get into downsizing, and we're going to go through the same thing with downsizing, in particular, those custom questions on the Facebook ads. So the print flyers, these are awesome. Now, this is not the down payment assistance print flyer, but if you've got an open house, this could be perfect. Or maybe you've got an office that people walk into, and people will take the print flyers from the different PDF guides, get a little acrylic holder like this and have it at your open house. If you go into our mastermind group and you type in open house print flyers or open house PDF guides, you'll find some different posts on it. And you'll see some people actually doing it. And it's phenomenal because now people walking through your open house can scan the QR code. You could also put this in the flyer box on the yard sign, in addition to the listing flyers. And now when I scan that QR code, let's see if anybody wants to scan it. I always love scanning QR codes. Yep. The landing page comes up. Beautiful. There's a little video on that right there. And then there's the lead form. I can put in my information and I can download that guide. And lastly, we got postcards and door hangers. We just have them in there because we have them in for all the different tools. I don't think you're going to be sending out a lot of postcards necessarily. And then lastly, there is a QR code. So if you want to create your own Canva template or flyer, or your own postcard, if you're going to do postcards for down payment assistance, maybe you're going to do a postcard to renters and you want to do a Canva postcard, send it to the renters or put a door hanger or whatever it is. You got a QR code right there to the landing page. So you can make use of that as well. All right. Any questions on anything related to down payment assistance? I think this is phenomenal because a lot of listings are sitting right now. We're trying to get listings sold. And so anything that we can do to help our buyers learn more about down payment assistance, different buying options that they may have. It's crazy because a lot of people still think they got to pay 20%. My wife is a mortgage broker, and I hear it all the time that she will be generating leads. She's talking to people, and they're like, and she'll get off the phone with somebody because she uses that question. I'm going to show you her ads. And she'll be like, yeah, it's crazy. They thought they needed 20% down. It's just crazy. Tina says, I just got mine for the open house on Saturday. Awesome. All right, Tina, perfect. Davis, I just scanned the QR code. Nice. Yes, exactly. Right. John, awesome. So true. Yeah. And in fact, I think we're going to do a call with her and another lender to really help agents with that conversation around affordability, because a lot of times it's the agent who is the first person that a buyer may contact. All right. It really should be the lender. It doesn't matter, right? Whether it's the agent or the lender, both are going to be part of the process, and both really need to be up to speed and have the right language around affordability. So I think soon, be on the lookout for a call that we're going to do soon with a couple of mortgage brokers and myself about affordability and how to talk about that to our buyers, whether it's at an open house, via email, via text message. Is that something people think they might find useful? If it's not, I won't worry about it. But if you think it might be useful, let me know, and I'll make sure that we get that scheduled for next week. And we're going to log into her account here right after this next. Let's go to, I'm going to type in down. All right, so John says yes. All right, perfect. Down. Oh, let's try it again. Down. Sizing. Did I spell that right? Let's see. Downsizing. I think I did. There we go. Downsizing guide for homeowners. Again, I can download English or Spanish. All right. Text only versions as well. Marketing tools, Facebook and Instagram ad. So all the same tools. I'm just going to touch on two of them. We'll go through all of them, but super briefly, because they all work the same way. I can edit any of this. So just so you can see, think about downsizing. Like for example, I could do Placer County homeowners, thinking about downsizing, just so you can see, right? I can completely edit this. I'm going to put in the location. For those of you that want to go to traffic or video views, you can, but I like lead ads the best. But there's different strategies and different reasons why you would do those different things. If you're not sure why you would, then don't worry about it. Leave it as lead ads. Radius, I'm going to leave alone. Now, keep in mind, seller leads are more expensive. You notice the default budget for the buyer ad was $35. The seller ad, the minimum is $50 that we put in. But again, I might bump it to $75. It's going to start and end in 1 week. We can edit that. I can change the image or video to whatever I want. I can retarget current leads and also to a custom audience. Now, again, for the buyer ad, you can do it for a buyer ad, but for buyer ads, we want a more broad audience. For a seller ad, if you want to, it's not needed, but if you got a custom audience in Facebook, you can completely advertise to it. And I will show you that you can use your pixels. So if you got your Facebook pixel, your Google pixel, you can put those into listings to leads in your profile and use those as well. So you got your pixel dialed in. But I'm going to change that question. Remember, I want to go change that question here. So under advanced options, create new form, and then form questions. I'm just going to open that up. And again, we see name, email, and phone number and I always want to leave those. I want to know who you are. I want to know your email and your phone. And we see system-wide over 80% good phone numbers, over 80% good emails. Every so often, if you get into a little bit of a rut, and I see it even as well with my wife, there might be a day where 2 or 3 of those leads have a bad phone number. Well, that's not true. Not 2 or 3, maybe 1 or 2. But then the next 2 or 3 days, every phone number is good. So if you run into a little bit of bad luck and you're on that kind of part of the curve that's having the bad phone numbers, don't get too discouraged, because the hardest market I've ever seen is super old, in an area where it was just all super old people, and it was mostly landlines. or people that have changed their phone numbers from 20 years ago and never updated Facebook. But I'm telling you, most areas and for most people, you're looking at 80% or above with good email and phone. So on step one of that lead form, what is your time frame to sell? And I just like that, but it's up to you what you want to do. And then notice the second question. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? So let's just scroll down. And all right, so here we go. We got a lot of great questions here. And there's even more up here that you can take a look at. Would you not? So that's more of a buyer, but we leave it in there. So for example, see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. Options. Yes, please. Yes, and please customize for my home. Man, I'm telling you, if you get that response, that would be a phenomenal seller lead, because now what they want you to do is, and what you should do is get a photograph of their home. I'll tell you, I'll role play that follow up in a second here. But the options are yes, please, and customize for my home, and not right now. If you use that one and somebody says, yes, please, and customize my home, when I follow up with them, I'm going to say, hey, thank you for downloading my guide on downsizing. And I saw that you like to see my 100 point home marketing plan customized to your home. That's phenomenal. And that you're thinking, and that you're right now, you're just thinking about selling. I'm going to come by tomorrow at 4:00 to take a photograph of your home to put into my plan, just so you can see how awesome it's going to look. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try to pick a time when I think they might be home. Now, I know it gets dark really early, so it's not easy sometimes. But if I can do that when they're going to be home, and I'm going to say when I'm talking to them or my message, I'm not going to bother you or knock on your door, but just in case you see me out front taking a photograph, or you see somebody out front taking a photograph, that's going to be me. Now, what they're going to think is, holy crap, man, this guy, John, he really goes above and beyond. Why I am doing it is because when I put there, and I got the flip book, I could print it up and give it to them. When they see their home in the 100 point home marketing plan, and they send a text code or they scan the QR code, and now they see their home right on their phone, it blows their mind. It absolutely blows their mind. Another option could be see how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar. All right. Check your home's value and selling options, no obligation. So again, I want to make sure that I select the right question based on the follow-up that I think would be most engaging. Everybody clear on that? And I think both this one, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? Now, let's talk about that one. If they said yes to this, so maybe if it was the right price are the options, or no, I would not. So if they say no, I would not, that's what they said. But if they say maybe, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call them up, text them, email them, all three. And I'll say, thank you for downloading my guide on downsizing. And I saw that you might be open to selling your home if you got the right price. What price are you thinking? And just let them respond. It doesn't matter what they say. They could say $3 million. I would respond, great. That sounds phenomenal. I got a lot of buyers looking for homes in that area. When do you have time for me to stop by for 5 minutes to take a quick look and just see what my buyers might pay for this? Right? Because I can't just, oh, great, 3 million. And so I want to be able to work my way into their home. And the 5 minute thing has actually been tested. I would suggest a couple of times, right? I wouldn't just say, when do you have time? I might say, hey, does tomorrow 6:00 or Saturday, maybe between 11 or 2 work for you to have me come over for 5 minutes? And the 5 minute thing is great because in 5 minutes, you're going to be able to get a sense of the property. So in 5 minutes, I'll have a sense of it. And if I build a good rapport, they're going to let me sit around for 20 minutes if they got the time. So use the 5 minutes. Should we leave it as two? Tina, thank you for the question. Great question. Yes, leave it as 2 only. So name, email, phone number don't count. But for or for the first part of the lead form, yes, only do 2. If you do more, you're paying for the lead, because once they click into this, you've paid for it. And if you've got 3 questions in there, the fall off, I think, is too high and it's just not worth it. All right. And if you got other questions that you want us to add, let me know. Actually, a couple of these came from clients. I know the AI text came from a client, would like to be notified. And again, that's, I think, more for a buyer, right? Not so much for a seller. But I love this one. The 100-point home marketing plan is a great option. The 1 to 3 months is a great option. The idea of get your home's value and instant cash offer could be a great option. So but again, it depends on you, your business. Test out a couple, see what you think. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to increase engagement. We're trying to, use these questions to get the homeowner thinking, oh, cash offer, I want a cash offer. Or, oh, 100 plus point home marketing plan. Like, really? That's nuts. Okay. Yeah. Boy, I'd like to see that. Or would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? For those people that know maybe that a lot of homes are sitting and not selling and they want what they want, we're just trying to increase the ability to have a conversation with these people by them answering the question that we feel is best for our business and our area, and then making sure our follow-up mirrors that. That makes sense? If you ask this question right here, and then in your follow-up, you don't even address it, now you're going to have not very good follow-up, right? Pretty bad follow-up, because you didn't even acknowledge that they said yes or yes, customized for my home. And you're losing a phenomenal opportunity. Same with any of these questions on the buy or sell side. We want to make sure that based on the reply, particularly in the affirmative, that we are going to acknowledge that we're going to speak to it and that we're going to offer more value based on it. Price of these homes for sale, list of similar homes, cash offer, whatever it is. All right. Everybody type in yes. Let me know that makes sense. And let me know if you're clear on how to access these questions. Again, just under advanced options, create new form and form questions. Super easy. And what does this do? It just gives you a lot more options. And then create ad. Easy peasy. All right. Awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. We're going to log into another account. Oh, real quickly here. I'll tell you before we do that. I will go ahead and turn that off. And so we know we got Google Ads. So just like the buyer guide, we got the Google ad, we got the social media posts. So I'm not going to go through these again like I did previously because we've already gone through it, but I'll just point out completely editable, edit the text, edit the headline, edit the description, change the image, whether you use an image from our library or upload your custom image. We got a video script. So make sure you're doing these scripts. They're free. They're free to you. And again, word for word, paraphrase it, inspiration, whatever you're going to do. But doing video and having enough content is really key. And so we give you so much content. Oh my gosh, we give you so much content. We got the e-flyer for your database that I can edit. In fact, in the mastermind group, if I go right here, thinking about downsizing. So if you go into the mastermind group, you'll see it near the top because I just put them there before this call. And you can see just a little bit more of a topical email. So you would put this above the link, and then there's the link, and then you put this below the link. And let me just close that. So right here's the link. So I can just click edit, and I can just type in what I want, or I can copy it in. However you want to do it is great. We got the call script to call through some of those homeowner/home seller leads. So again, another great script right here to call through your database. This would be phenomenal for your open house. So any of those homeowners walking through, especially if I'm in a neighborhood that might be a little bit more skewing towards older homeowners. So if I'm doing in fact, even new construction, because a lot of older people like new construction, they don't want to have to deal with maintenance anymore. If I'm doing an over 55 community, for sure, I would use, this could be a great one for that. And again, get a acrylic flyer holder, drop it in there, put it at your open house. It'd be funny. In fact, I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, go to Starbucks and just pop up one of these at your table at Starbucks, and just while you're working, and just have it up there and have your 100-point home marketing plan sitting on the table, kind of as if you're working on it, and then let people see you. And for those people that have any interest, what you're doing is you're setting up shop at the cafe and pretending that you're working on all this stuff. Oh, I'm working on my flyers. I'm working on my 100-point home marketing plan. But what you're really doing is leaving it sitting out there for people to see and engage you. And I think you might actually just get somebody to engage you. I think that'd be awesome. All right. So before I leave and get off to logging into an account to look at some ads, can we upload a guide that we may have split our market and do the same thing? Kind of. So if you go to ads, and thank you for the question, create Facebook ad, create PDF guide, and now for the print flyer and the email, we don't have that because we don't know your guide. So we can't really create a print flyer on a guide that we don't know. So you can just use Canva for that. Right? I can use Bitly to create a free QR code if I've got a landing page for it. No, I could create a landing page in Listings to Leads. I don't really have time to go through that today, but in the landing page section, I can go to create a custom buyer, custom seller landing page and just create that landing page for the guide. Super easy to do. And goodness gracious, why is that taking so long? Yeah, Evan, right? Genius idea. Go to some cafe, especially in the summer when it's a little bit warmer, or where you live, and if you're in Florida or somewhere nice, it's a nice day, get a nice table outside and have these kind of laying around. Just to make sure you say hi to people walking by. But to that point of the custom guide, upload custom. Is this buyer seller guide? Seller, whatever, buyer seller, as appropriate. And then I can upload the actual PDF guide right here. So I can upload it from my computer, right? I'll just say that one. And then I got my Facebook pages. What I might do is upload that guide into ChatGPT, get some ideas of prompts for the primary text, work on it, make sure, because anything that you get from AI, you're going to want to make sure you edit it so that it's much more clear. I've done a lot of testing on this. I've never had a AI generated ad do better than our default ads. It's crazy. I've tried it. I've given up now for a few months, but I tried for at least a few dozen different ads over like maybe a year time period. And I don't think one time ever did the AI generated ad, and even that I edited just a little bit, did better than our default text for the different Facebook ads. But anyway, I can upload the text, upload the image, headline, description. So I can use our platform to run ads for that PDF guide. And then if I create the landing page, I can auto post to my social media. I think it'll create an email maybe, all right, and a few other things as well. But what I want to do, so give me a second. I'm gonna log in to an account, and I haven't logged in a couple of days, which is my bad. So when you log in, you're going to see this pop up. Click here to go to our YouTube channel. That's where all of our webinars and recordings and little training videos are. Join the mastermind group, join the 30-day expired, and click here for more information on this. And you can always get with support if you need help on any of that. But let's see. Oh, not too bad. Oh, wow. That's really good. 461, 223. Let's go to the ad dashboard. Ads. Oh, I'm sorry. Agents. Ads. And let that refresh. So this ad right here, this is the down payment assistance landing page, not the PDF guide, but it works the same way. Click on the landing page tab. You'll see down payment assistance landing page on the top row. And you can see completely customized text. And any of you can steal the effect. I'll give you all, hold on. I'm going to drop this in because she did a post a couple of weeks ago in the mastermind group, and a lot of people wanted her template. And I was just like, what do you mean you want her template? Just copy the text and do a video. Like you can literally just copy the text and, oh, that's cute. Little show. And here we go. Here's the ad. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to hear it. And I think I've already clicked this ad, but let's just see. If I click learn more. Yeah, there we go. What's your time frame to buy? All right. And then see if you qualify. Now, you may think it's weird to ask that question on this ad, but what it does is it puts more of an action into the mind of the person filling this out. Because I have seen when people put yes to that, the connection rate during follow-up is so much higher because now they clicked an ad for down payment assistance information. So that, and of course they click through and everything. Okay, great. Down payment assistance. But now when they say yes to this one, it just increases engagement for this ad. All right. And let's go back and see what her, and then she's got this ad. Let's take a look at this one. And let's see. I dropped in the text for her, for that ad in the chat. Take it, copy it, edit it, use it however you want. So this is now she's running for a listing. And again, and this gets into the affordability. So if you've got a listing, in fact, let's just bring it up and I will copy and paste this into the chat as well. But I might, what the default description, and then add a blurb. Now this one's price reduced. Yours may not be price reduced, but you see this line right here, zero or low down options and down payment assistance available for qualified home buyers. That line right there, I think is awesome because it's going to help some of these buyers that maybe are facing affordability issues, but can totally afford it. You'd be surprised at how many people have great jobs. Maybe they got some money saved up. They got good credit, or maybe they're just slightly below good credit where maybe in about a month or two, they would have good credit. And if you got a good lender working with these buyers, you're going to find there's a lot of great buyers out there that like I said, they just think they need 20% down. They think the idea of buying a home is just way outside their range. They got no problem spending $80,000 on a Ford F-150 while they're renting. All right. But then they don't think they can afford to buy a home because why? Because all those car commercials, what do? They talk about zero down and low monthly payments. And so I'm thinking, I don't even think about the fact that truck for $80,000 is going to be negative as soon as I drive off the lot, if not even before that. But when it comes to a home or real estate, we never mention that kind of a thing. And of course, you're not going to do that on a home that this wouldn't work for. If it's a high-end home, a luxury home or something like that, I'm not going to be putting this kind of thing in there because then you're going to attract the wrong kind of people and you're going to disappoint people. Everybody makes sense for you. So if you got any kind of home, this kind of language could be very helpful for you. And let's go back and let's see what her cost per lead is. What happened? Let me see here. Let me refresh this and we should see. Let's go back to the dashboard. Oh, wow. Nice. 434 per lead, 376 a lead. Nice. That's awesome. So, these don't end for another 4 days, but here's what I would do. When I get an ad, if you have an ad that's performing badly, just turn it off and rerun it as new. Look at your images, look at the text that you've got. A lot of times you can just rerun without changing anything and the ad will do a lot better just because the Facebook algorithm can get a little bit weird sometimes. And it just starts showing it to a bad audience. And then you're looking at $10, $15 a lead when you should be a lot lower than that. But when I got an ad like this one at 434, Man. Now, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to show you. All right. In a couple of days, I would do this. Like when it's like 1 to 2 days before ending and I'm doing really well, I'm going to come in here and click on the ad and I'm going to add more money to it and I'm going to add more time to it. So it's going to put me in the work area and I'm going to come down here to budget and I'm going to take that budget. Now I'm not going to actually do this right now, but 150. So it's not an extra 150, it's 150 total. So it's an extra 50. And then the ending date, I would just go, you know what, let's go for another week and then hit update. And now that ad, instead of stopping, because once that ad stops and then I run another ad, that could be a whole nother audience that Facebook is going to put that to. Whereas right now, Facebook has a very nice groove. It's got a great audience. She's got great engagement with the leads based on the question. She time blocks an hour every day to follow up with the leads at the same time every day. And it's phenomenal. She's got the AI text. She's got the email follow-up and it's doing great. Now, check this out. If I go back to ads, everybody doing good, everybody clear, everybody. And so for the down payment assistance PDF guide, you can do the same ad right here. You can do a video, you can do text, you could do custom image, but check this out. So 588, 769, wow, 737. But look at this. $1,000 was spent on that ad and it was all in $100 increments. So every week, like $100. So that went on for about 7 to 8 weeks because at the end, the cost per lead started going up. And so the ad was ended, but it spent almost $800. This one, 200, 125, 350, 200. All right. So you can see, and you can even go 50, 50, 50. So you do $50 and you're like, oh my, like this one right here, 376 a lead, 16 leads, $100. And I could come in there in a couple of days right before it ends and I could add in another $50 or I could add in $100, whatever I want. All right, everybody, are we good? I don't want to keep everybody for too long. I'm already over time. So let me know that we're good. And if we are, if there are any other questions, make sure Tina, whoever's got an open house this weekend, make sure you click on the marketing calendar. And from the marketing calendar, we got the open house training is phenomenal. Our open house training. And also go to listingstoleads.com/open house. But under the marketing calendar, presentations, open house mastery, this presentation right here will walk you through not only how to host an open house, how to select an open house, yours or borrowed. If you're an agent and you're looking to really grow your business, both buyers and sellers, open houses are one of the best ways to do that. All right. Joining us for the expired challenge, get into the mastermind group. There's a lot of different posts on it, but going after expired, going after canceled, doing open houses, and this presentation right here will walk you through. We did a lot of research on this, talked to a lot of great agents. And I think this is one of the best presentations. And it works again, whether it's your listing or a listing that you're going to borrow. And here's the thing, just because you have a listing doesn't mean you can't borrow another listing. Just because you're with XYZ Realty doesn't mean you can't borrow a listing from a Compass agent or a Coldwell Banker agent. I've seen it all the time. Coldwell Banker is holding up open house for EXP. Compass is holding an open house for LPT, right? So I see this in my area all the time. You don't have to feel compelled. Now talk to your broker but I see it in our area all the time. In fact, the first time I started noticing that, I thought it was weird. And then once I noticed it once, this is a while back ago, then I started noticing it more often. How to borrow a listing. This is the market. This is the market listing. This is just a very brief walkthrough. Make sure you don't forget about marketing that listing, right? Social media, your database, the nearby homeowner letter. In fact, I just talked to a client, got a listing from the nearby homeowner letter last week, talking about doing a neighborhood exclusive. So a lot of great stuff right here on not, it's insane. I walk into so many open houses. I go to open houses every couple of weeks and I'll just check a few out. So many agents are so lame. If you're going to spend 4 hours, 2 hours at the open house, probably an hour before, maybe an hour afterwards, that's half the day. If I'm going to be doing that, I want to make sure that I am leveraging that open house as much as possible so that I get the most seller leads, I get the most buyer leads, that I get the most engagement possible, that I get the most conversation. I've had clients even do half of this and they get invited to somebody's home later that same day or that next week because the way they conducted the open house, the way they did the open house and invited the neighbors, did the marketing for it, they got homeowners to it. The homeowners thought the agent did a phenomenal job and was like, this is the kind of agent I want to sell our house. And there's nothing worse than having a potential home seller come through your open house and you are not hitting on all cylinders and you just present like you're every other agent in the marketplace. So why would they even consider you if you're not going to step up your game a little bit, especially in an age with all the great competition that we got? All right. All right, everybody, get out of here. Kim, thank you so much for that. Awesome. David, thank you. Kim, great. Well, I'm very telling me where I'm headed for my marketing. Super, super. Thank you, Kim. Robert, thank you. Another great webinar. Get into the mastermind group. All right. Let us know how we can be of help and go have a great day. Oh, one last thing on the expired. Let me just show you here real quickly. If I go to the mastermind group, let me see here. Oh, let's see what she got in the mastermind group. No, cover. What? Hold on a second. Let's just see real quick. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Here we go. I'll put the link in the chat. So if you're not just click on that link and then that will take you there. And any suggestions? That's so funny. I will help her out. And oh, you already posted that. Sweet. If you can't find something, just go ahead and put, how do I join the expired challenge? And I'll put the link in for you. All right, everybody, have an awesome day. And we'll talk to you later. And I got the 4:00 expired meeting. Oh, you know what? In fact, I put it in the accounts last night. Click on announcements. So in the top left, announcements, right here, 30-day challenge. This is the 4 p.m. call, and this is the 7 a.m. call. If you click that, it'll take you to the registration page, and then you can join us at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. East, and it's right there. And then this is the one for the mornings, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. East Coast time. So again, in your listings to leads account, click announcements, and then you can join our daily calls. We go for a half hour. I just want to make sure everybody's up to speed, make sure we're dialed in on the basics and anything else that's going on. But a lot of people seem to like them, and I'm having a lot of fun doing them. So if you're wanting to join us on this, and again, this is geared towards going after expired listings. And yeah, if you want to join us, we'll talk to you later. All right, everybody, be good. Talk to you soon.